Hello and welcome to From Garden to Plate. I am Alice Erickson, the creator of this channel on YouTube. I have 20 years experience growing a garden. I went from growing in pots to a raised bed. I have done every trick out there, so what I will teach you is proven to give you an amazing yield in the garden. I also like to take the preserved items that I made from the bounty of the harvest and put it into everyday delicious meals. I have learned throughout the years how to become a cook to a house chef. And the simple tricks in between the normal steps that I will teach you will get you there as well. I want to inspire you to be an amazing organic gardener and a house chef. If that interests you, please like and subscribe. In today's episode, I am going to be going over neem oil, what it is, and how to use it in the garden. I will also be showing you how to make a marinade for ahi tuna steaks or any other fish you want to grill by utilizing a lemon pepper hot sauce that I made. Neem oil is an absolutely fantastic tool for a gardener to preventing pests from eating their precious produce. And it is not harmful to us or our precious pollinators. What neem oil is derived from a fruit that is grown on a tree that is near India area of the world. They're little tiny guys, almost look like olives, but they're not. So what they do is they take the fruit, cold press it down, and they derive what they need. They can either take that and process it to make a multi-purpose spray by heating it, or save it in the form of cold press, which is the most potent. So that is the one I recommend to use, is cold press. Being that it is super concentrated, you want to go very light with it. So I will tell you the perfect absolute combo for how to make it a spray. Not all soaps are created equal. If you look at the toxicity chart, Castile soap is not toxic. You want the soap to help combine the oil and the water so that way it consistently sprays. So I highly suggest this when you are trying to make your combination for your spray. I have used 1 tablespoon of the Castile soap, and I used 2.5 milliliters, which is a half teaspoon. I highly suggest getting one of these from the pharmacy to get this out. Makes it so much easier. And you combine that with water and get you a nice sprayer like this, and boom, you're good to go. When you spray is incredibly important. Only do it early morning or very late afternoon when the sun is on the plants. Even the combination I told you, which is still very light, it will still slightly burn if you spray in the middle of the day. So please, please, please only do the times that I suggested. It is easy to wash off the neem oil from your produce, but I still suggest using a produce wash before you can or eat it yourself. It's absolutely great, and most precious pollinators we have won't be affected by it, so therefore it is environmentally friendly, good for you and everything, and not using chemicals in the garden such as the ones you find in the store also makes good bugs come in, like ladybugs. They will want to have their children in your garden. The chemical ones, they see that, they don't want it because it's toxic to them. But the neem oil doesn't hurt them, so therefore they'll want to be in that environment, which is great. That's who we want to attract too. Companion plants are great. They help along with the natural pesticide too. So I only spray about once a week and I'm perfect. And that's what I suggest. Hope it helps you out. I wanted to go over the few items that are important in the recipe before I present it. So my Yuzu hot sauce consists of lemon drop peppers, which are little peppers that literally taste like lemon, and boy are they hot. And Yuzu furikake. Furikake is a seasoning that is in Japan that is really amazing on seafood or sushi. They like to sprinkle on top or put it in other delicious meals. Yuzu is an awesome fruit that they grow there in Japan. It is also in the citrus family. So citrus and fish, way to do it. And don't just use soy sauce. Use a reduced sodium tamari sauce. It is so much more flavorful. It's slower cooked, so much more rich. You deserve the best. Pro tip in making a marinade, do everything in a bowl and whisk it together so that way it's much more consistent. So I line everything up as per the recipe to make it easy on myself, and then I will just set it aside after I use it. That way I keep organized. All right, the most important is utilizing from the bounty of the harvest, my Yuzu hot sauce. That consists of 1 tablespoon. So I pour it in. Oh yeah, got them hot peppers in there too. That's awesome. And then I'm going to do the tamari sauce, 2 tablespoons. I'm going to do a half teaspoon of this awesome yuzu sauce. Because it's hot and I already have my hot lemon peppers, so don't want it overwhelming, it would be on fire. Since the furikake has sesame in it, the best oil to help attach to your fish is going to be sesame oil. I only do a half teaspoon of that. Fish sauce obviously goes amazing with fish. So it will also be an amazing complement to the marinade. So I don't want it to be overpowering, but I want it to be present, so I do a teaspoon. I will only do a half teaspoon of the garlic because I want it to be present but not to be overwhelming. Perfect. And ginger is important with fish and any Asian recipe. So I want it to be there, but not overwhelming, so only a half teaspoon. I have everything that I need in there, so I'm gonna whisk it together and make sure it's very consistent. It already smells good. Pro tip, get yourself a pitcher like this and line it with your marinating bag, especially if you're by yourself. It's like having hands there open with a nice wide open with the bag. It's quite awesome. Makes life a little bit easier. I already have the ahi tuna inside, so I am just gonna pour this right in. See, not much left, so therefore it was very consistent on my whisk. Trying to get as much air out as possible. Make sure that the steaks are just gently rubbed. Flip them over, make sure that the marinade is on both sides. I am going to be cooking this evening, so this is just a day marinade. So therefore, I just flip it a couple times during the days. That way I make sure everything is evenly penetrated with the marinade. The ahi tuna definitely needs a side item to make it a complete meal. So I looked at everything in my pantry. I'm like, I came up with something awesome. So what I have for you is brown rice noodles, some tamari sauce, sesame oil, rice vinegar. To season this sauce I'm making for the pasta, I'm going to use Japanese 7 spice. The veggies that I'm going to be adding are baby corns, bean sprouts, and I will rehydrate the shiitake mushrooms. So I want the most forward taste to be the tamari sauce. So I am doing 1/3 of a cup. Add that in first. The rice vinegar, I don't want it to be too forward, so I will only do 1/8 of a teaspoon. Smallest thing I have is 1/4, so half, of course. Okay. The spice, I am going to do 1 teaspoon. Right in. Sesame oil, I want it there, but not overly potent, so I will do 1/2 teaspoon. I want to slightly thicken the sauce, so I suggest using arrowroot. Not going to really measure it, I'm just going to tap it in. Just light. Right after you take it off the heat, it'll thicken just the right amount. And it doesn't taste like anything, so it doesn't ruin the flavor. So I'm going to whisk all of this together, and I will have my sauce ready for the noodles. To make it pretty and plateable, I decided to just do a light coating of the Yuzu furikake. So I'm going to do a taste test. Should be tender enough that I don't need a knife. Look at that. My husband has some skills. Perfectly seared. 2 minutes each side on high on the grill. Here we go. That right there is amazing. Let's try my concoction for the pantry. Make sure I get a piece of corn in there. Very good. Thank you so much for viewing today. Hope to see you soon.